That's right, you heard me. Record Store Day. What's the word, everybody, and welcome back to the Crickles channel. Today is my absolute favorite day of the entire year. I like today better than Christmas, I like today better than Halloween, better than Thanksgiving, better than Easter, better than Arbor Day, and better than Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday. Today is Record Store Day. So for those of you guys who do know, those of you who don't know, I collect vinyl records. It is my favorite thing in the entire world, my number one hobby and passion. I love it. I think it's so amazing. My favorite place to go for records is actually Gray Whale. That's why I'm wearing their shirt today, repping their merch. It's a chain of record stores in Utah. They've always treated me amazing for the past decade, and I really, really love going there for stuff. So for today's Record Store Day, I was able to get a couple of exclusives that only came out today, only time they're ever going to be put on vinyl is today, and a lot of other records I've really been looking forward to. We're going to go in alphabetical order and check out the record stores that I got on this Record Store Day haul. Alright, first record, Terror Vision by Aborted. This is such a phenomenal album. Aborted's newest album that came out not too long ago. But this is fantastic. I was so excited to be able to get a physical copy of this. They're a technical death metal band. Fantastic. Terror Vision is the newest installment, and I'm really, really excited to be jamming this because I've looked forward to getting this on vinyl for a long time. By a long time, I mean since they released the album. Next album is Misery by the Amity Affliction. So I will be honest, I'm pretty newer to loving the Amity Affliction. I got into them not too long ago, and I'm obsessed. Their music is so deep and such interesting lyrical content. They're a metalcore band that really has their own defined style, and their clean singing and their screams work really, really well together. And their newest album takes them in a few different places they've never been before musically, and I really, really appreciate that. So I'm really stoked that I was able to get this album on vinyl too. Next album is a classic, Count Your Blessings by Bring Me the Horizon. This is such a phenomenal, phenomenal album. For those who are not super aware, Bring Me the Horizon is currently like a pop band, similar to like Maroon 5. But back in the day, back when I was 15 years old, Bring Me the Horizon was a death metal band, specifically a deathcore band. And they were crazy. This album is super, super heavy. Very, very crazy, crazy death metal stylings. And this album is actually really, really important to deathcore bands of the mid to early-ish 2000s. And I'm really stoked that I have it now. Next album is Red Before Black by Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse, the best death metal band of all time. And Red Before Black is their newest installment in their discography. They're a pretty violently imagery band, but I love this band. And this new album is incredible. The production was insanely good, and the overall quality was just amazing. So I'm really stoked. It's a picture disc, so the actual album cover is on the vinyl, and that's just incredible to me. The next few you're going to see are all from the same band. There is a band that I am obsessed with and have been for a really, really long time. They're called the Deftones. Many of you should know the Deftones. They were huge in the late 90s and early 2000s, but they're still putting out fantastic music. In fact, many people have said that the Deftones have never actually put out a bad album. So I bought every Deftones record that this record store had. Here are 7 Deftones records. So I'm just going to go through these quick, just so you guys know. Adrenaline was their first album, and it is actually my favorite Deftones album. This has such amazing songs on it. Chino Moreno's voice, the singer, very, very raw, amazing on this album, incredible. The second album by the Deftones is Around the Fur. This is the quintessential alternative metal album of the late 90s. Fantastic album. Really, really essential album to have for collectors. Next album by the Deftones, just their self-titled album. Fantastic record. This has some of my favorite songs actually by the Deftones. And the artwork is just so perfect on this one. I forgot all about White Pony. Oh my gosh, the most important Deftones record to ever exist. White Pony was the album that set Deftones apart. This is the album that set everything. And it's perfect. This album, from the first song to the last song, is a perfect record. Not a single song you skip because they're all incredible. Next album by the Deftones, Saturday Night Wrist. Fantastic. Excellent, excellent songs. There's a lot of classics on here that I love, particularly songs like Rats, Rats, Rats. Really heavy, interesting, fascinating music. Deftones Diamond Eyes, perfect album. Once more, the Deftones have never really made a bad album in their career, but This is such a good one too. And the artwork, you know, just of the owl, so iconic, so well done. And the Deftones, this record is just continuing on that sound that they built. Last one by the Deftones, because I'm sure you guys are getting sick of hearing about them. I never do. I could talk about this band all day. Is their newest album called Gore. This came out, I think, 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago, and it's phenomenal. 3 years ago, maybe. It's a great album. For a lot of those bands of the like new metal, alternative metal bands of the late 90s, early 2000s, they've sort of lost their sound. They lost their ability to sound relevant. The Deftones never lost that. This newest album like proves that they're still here, being just as metal as ever and really creating fantastic music. Next one is actually a Record Store Day exclusive. So I mentioned this a little bit before, but on Record Store Day, they release a lot of albums or singles, 7 inches, that are only going to be released on that day ever. It makes them really limited and really exclusive, and it's so cool, because then you can say, I have a record that only came out on this day of 2010, you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool that you have that. And I do, in my personal collection, have a good number of these. But the couple that I got today, I'm really stoked on. The first one is Green Day's live set from Woodstock 94. So this was a phenomenal moment in time where Green Day played a festival called Woodstock 94 where things were wild. They started a riot after Green Day played. People were lighting stuff on fire. And this is the only time they've ever been able to put it on physical form in vinyl. It's a beautiful record, such great songs, and a really cool, like a moment like you're living in the concert, but now you have it on vinyl forever. The next record I got is Sons of Northern Darkness by Immortal. Immortal, this is one of the best, if not the best, black metal bands ever. And Sons of Northern Darkness is my favorite Immortal album. I was so excited when I saw this because it was like, that's the record for me. I love this album. And it's so cool that I finally have it on vinyl now. And Immortal, like, they're the quintessential best black metal band out there. Next album is one for all you progressive metal kids. This is Obzen by Meshuggah. This is such a cool album. Meshuggah is wild. Meshuggah is crazy. Their time signatures are insane, almost impossible to play. But yet they're able to create these crazy songs that sound crazy, but they work perfectly. And Meshuggah's been around for a long time. This is probably their most famous album, I would say. This has the most famous song called Bleed on it. And it's really cool that I finally have this on vinyl. And this is sort of like the indie cover. This isn't like just a random cover you can get. This wasn't the actual original album art either. This is an album art that was made just for the vinyl to be sold at indie record stores, which I think is super cool. The other Record Store Day exclusive that I got, and this one goes out to all of my emo and scene friends that I've had forever, that is The Black Parade is Dead by My Chemical Romance. For those who do not recall from back in the day, The Black Parade is Dead was the live version of the album The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. There's 3 extra songs that are after the entire concert. Kill All Your Friends, My Way Home Is Through You, and Heaven Help Us. For anybody that actually remembers, it might just be me, those are 3 songs that came on an EP My Chemical Romance did back in like 2008 maybe? And it was called The Black Parade B-Sides. You actually have never been able to get those in a physical form. They've never put those on CDs, they've never put those on vinyl. It was just on a digital EP you could buy. So now, this is kind of the only physical way to listen to those 3 songs that were just extras from the Black Parade album. So that's really rad. Okay, just a couple more. This is Strapping Young Lad, the album is SYL. Strapping Young Lad is rad. They're wild. Their singer, Devin Townsend, he's that guy right there, balding with dreadlocks. That's the way to do it. Fantastic musician. He has a way of thinking musically that not a lot of people have, and it really makes for an interesting sound that is really cool to listen to. And I love this album. This album has so many bangers on it, and so to see it in vinyl, in love. Okay, here's the last one. I know you guys have been like, probably paused, turned off the video by now. Last album is Shogun by Trivium. I love Trivium. They're a band that I think does not get the appreciation they deserve, but Shogun is my favorite album by Trivium, and I finally have it on vinyl now. This actually has one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. It's called Throes of Perdition. I love that song, and it's on this album. It's just an all-around good album. Trivium, in my opinion, similar to the Deftones kind of never put out like a genuinely bad record. But this one I really, really love, and I really am glad that I have it now. And that's the Record Store Day haul, everybody. I hope you guys found any of this interesting. If not, it was just for me, because I had a lot of fun making this. I love talking about records, obviously, and I love being able to show you guys what I'm passionate about and what I think is cool, what I think is fun. So anyway, thank you guys for anybody that stuck around. This might be one viewer that watched the whole thing, and if it, whatever, that's fine. But I really had a lot of fun. Hope you guys always kick butt and stay metal.